Well, we've got Apex Legends competitors getting caught cheating, getting caught banned, and then all this drama that came on afterwards, getting thousands and thousands of likes and hundreds of thousands, millions of views. I think it was over 3 million views at the time of recording this video. It was insane stuff that was going on yesterday. And then you also had some streamers talking about some pretty good news that I think for the game, and then also some bad news. But let's dive into and discuss what's going on in the scene right now. ALGS week 1 scrim results. As you guys know, they're getting ready, getting geared up for champs. We finally had champ scrims come back into action. Here are your week 1 results from champ scrims. Obviously, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Not all teams played all sets. You had some matches that were like only 17 teams involved, but still pretty consistent that we've seen from Apex Esports, first place overall, highest average points, but they did only have 4 sets of games here. Fnatic had 5 sets of games in second place. Crazy Raccoon with only 3 sets of games, but in third place. Falcons in fourth with 3 sets of games. Furia with only 2 sets of games in the top 5, but then Cloud9, TSM, Liquid Alienware, Lone Sharks, and 100 Thieves. So a lot of North American teams up in this. Obviously, it's also a lot of North American teams playing in this because, you know, number one, there's mostly North American teams that are, you know, involved in champs. They've got one of the highest, you know, player-based representations here for champs, but also they seem to show up more for these scrim results, at least in the earlier stages. We'll see how that changes over time. Also wanted to make mention the big story that was happening yesterday. What in the world? Clover had came out. You guys probably know, competitive player for Challenger Circuit. I'm going to run through this one just so that we don't get too crazy here. If you haven't seen the video already on my main channel, we kind of dove into it there as well. But Clover is a known competitive player that said banned from $2,000 playoff weekend 1 hour before game start because of a sus clip that was submitted by dog crap teams, is now considered proof of cheating. And yeah, you kind of look at this and it is kind of painting one side where you see like, dang, that sucks. They just got removed from this tournament just like that. No questions asked. And, you know, Sparky was just like, no, that guy's cheating. He's hard banned and you guys are done. You know, he's a hard cheater. You guys got to get out of there. And then he starts to say, you're about to get yourself banned, pal, because you're defending a cheater. And I was like, dang, like that's crazy. This is what's going on. Then Clover shows the sus clip in question. If you haven't seen it already, here's what it looks like.
What? Va? Vad händer?
Nej.
Han bara skript för sin flatline. Han har ju bara skript för sin flatline. Eller what? Men titta när han skjuter. Han har ju 0 recoil.
Nej, det har han inte.
Titta på det!
Det där är jättedoable. Vad menar du?
Ja.
Men alltså det där ser så ut.
Det där är...
Ja, och det var samma han gjorde på den andra stufen.
När det är där nere, då är det fine. Men där uppe, då är det inte fine.
It was pretty weird, right? Well, you know, there was at one point where he's kind of looking backwards and he's like, you know, just looking through walls over here and he's boom, like, boom, right on the top of a guy. And then he starts missing all of his shots. He looks like a bot. He finally finishes this guy off. But what was really weird was the flatline recoil. If you guys could see, if we could zoom in here, I mean, look at this. This thing's not moving. And by the way, he's not jitter aiming because he's not a mouse and keyboard player. He is a controller player. And you could just see no recoil whatsoever. This guy's a menace, right? So everybody was like, okay, he's recoil scripting. Then you would go on to see that there was further problems because this guy was known to, at the past, already admitted to recoil scripting in the past, right? So Clover's like, yo, this guy's not cheating. I can assure you he's not cheating. But then you see clips like that and it's like, okay, that looks weird. And on top of this, this is a guy who's admitted to doing it before. So it was just a lose-lose situation. This guy said he used it for fun. I don't use it anymore. I used it one time last night. So it was, I used it for fun a year ago. Then it was, well, no, I saw you use it last night in ranked. And oh yeah, well, I used it last night, but only for one game. And it goes on. It's like, okay, how long can you say that and expect us to not believe that you would pull it out in a dire, you know, situation where you really needed to win? I just don't buy that for a bit. I think that it's a little crazy, but 31,000 likes, 32,000 likes on this whole thread was insane, especially from your not an ALGS, not a BLGS type thing, just a little $2,000 playoff weekend with a Discord type tournament. That was crazy stuff, but it goes to show you how dead that the news is right now in our scene as well. Also, that same guy came out and was already banned for some other toxic stuff. You know, just with the level of immaturity that you were seeing out of this, I'm not really surprised that all this did come down and all this happened, you know, in the end. But just thought I'd mention it because it was definitely getting a lot of attention over the last couple of days in the Apex Legends scene. Also wanted to mention Sweet Dream. Speaking of cheaters, right? We're talking about people that are cheating. We did actually have some interesting takes here, and I think a lot of people have been agreeing with this, and I've even had to say this on the main channel, that since they've removed Linux support, since they have made this communication commitment to banning more cheaters or telling us what's going on with cheaters, it does seem that the consensus around the entire player base is that cheaters have been less prominent in this season so far. Will that remain? Well, that's the conversation that Sweet and his Watson had. Here's what they had to say. Roll the clip.
Respawn has like quadrupled down on anti-cheat this season. It is actually insane, the less amount of cheaters. I'm actually gonna ask Watson about that right now. Cheaters this split have been fucking like few and far between. Something definitely. I know Respawn's going like they're quadrupling down on that ship.
I feel like the real test is like the last half of the split, because that's when all like the real goobers get on. Early in the split's honestly not bad, but honestly, I mean, I haven't really fought anybody that I thought was like weird. I've fought one person who was like full blatant cheating. Everybody else was just a guess. Like we were on EU and it was just like a full blatant cheater. But yeah, like there has definitely been a lot less like suspicious pre-fires and shit. Like little someone holding an angle, like very noticeably. Yeah, for sure. But we'll have to see, yeah. But you are right. Dead, like when the split, it gets a little bit more dead, less people streaming, they definitely come out, and because it only takes them like a week to do whatever they need to. Yeah, it's just like, I mean, the hard aimbotters kind of come and go, but it's just like the closet cheaters that are just like running amok and pred that are really annoying, playing like 1,000 games. Oh yeah, I have my name. I have my list. The sus list.
So obviously we'll see if it does get worse in split 2, but I think a lot of people are pretty impressed right now. I got to give it up to Respawn because I didn't think we would ever really get to this spot. Then again, we might get back to a worse spot later on. So yeah, keep your guard up. Wouldn't hold your breath quite yet, but we'll see pretty soon. Also wanted to mention some interesting takes here from Mande. I think this has also been a deep concern that we've been following in the esports scene of Apex for a while. Apex is a game that we know can have tremendous heights. It had tremendous heights. It's been you know, pretty viable, and as far as relativity goes, right? Like Hal has been a very popular streamer. Nicewig, a very popular streamer. Sweet, some of these other guys, Mande, all these guys, very popular streamer. The game itself of Apex has very good potential, or at least it has had in the past. But Mande kind of shares his insight that maybe all of that is going down. Apex will never be a big esport like your Call of Duties, like your League of Legends, like your Rocket Leagues at times. Rocket League has some pretty good numbers, like your Counter Strikes, and so on and so on. Maybe we are, if you guys are familiar with the scene, maybe we're going to become a Gears of War type thing where, you know, it's community based. We exist, we're here, but not many people know us. Nobody's really watching us. And over time, we keep falling, and eventually, one day, it will all be laid to rest. I'm interested to see if that's actually how Apex goes. I hope and pray that we can kind of turn things up for the better. Obviously, I think we all watching this video want that. But I know there's a lot of people out there that are kind of praying for its downfall and its demise as well. An unfortunate situation, but I hope the game does get better. Here's what Mande had to say. Roll a clip.
What are your genuine thoughts about the future of Apex, considering the last 1 to 2 years of developers' reputations? I'm completely blunt, but I don't see Apex being like a big esports ever, and like big on viewership and stuff. I think it's gonna be slowly declining, and then that's it. That's my take. But it's like, it's just whatever, dude. All games die at some point, or like they fall off at some point. So at least some games do. Games that are like well taken care of, like CS and stuff, they don't. No, Apex will not come back. You'll never see 6, 7, 800,000 players playing Apex at some point again, unless they get sold. Unless Apex gets sold to like Riot or something, it's just not gonna happen. If Riot owned Apex, or what other company would I like to own Apex? Or Valve or Riot. If either of them owned it, that would be nice.
So it's a hard pill to swallow for sure. I definitely don't want it to see, you know, it happen that way. I don't want it to go that way whatsoever. We all have a passion. We all have a desire to watch Apex Legends esports, or to see this game grow, to get back to, that's why we're all here watching the video to begin with. I do hope, and honestly, I hate to say it, but I really do hope that someone would consider buying the game at one point. I think that this game in the hands of someone with a Riot mindset, not an EA mindset, I think they could really make this game better, because there are so many things that the pro players, that the community members out here, us watching, want to see the game have. and they're not doing it. And I think that if they would do it, we would see some really good improvement, like in-game tournaments, in-game leaderboards, in-game stats, or in-game like trackers for your rank system, your rank leaderboards. If we could have weekly cash cups, duos tournaments, singles tournaments, and trio tournaments, whatever, if we could have these events inside of the game and where these big streams happen every week because we're all watching these cash cups, whatever, man, there's so much potential here. It's sad that we're 5 years in it and we're still not seeing that. I really hope Mandy's wrong, but I think he makes a fair point. Interested to see what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with what's going on inside the world of Apex Legends, news, drama, esports, stories, and much more. And until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.